I say it's deeper, you're feeling strong. I need you weaker, gonna wait right here. I don't wanna roll till you make...
Today on the podcast, we are featuring the New Jersey-based singer-songwriter Eric Harrison. Learn more about him and listen to his track, Till You Make Me Home. Welcome to the Eat, Sleep, Breathe Music podcast, where we talk all things music. I'm your host, Jeanette Kimzel, blogger and music enthusiast. Let's get started with today's episode. Just popping in to give you a heads up. This podcast contains paid promotional content. That means we were compensated for the feature. All opinions are our own, and we only choose to represent music that we truly dig. Now on with the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the Eat, Sleep, Breathe Music podcast. I'm your host, Jeanette Kimzel. For those of you just joining us, this is the podcast where I talk about different musicians and how their music affects me, and then I play a track for you to listen to. So you can check it out and form your own opinion as well. And I'd love to know what you think about the track. I'll have details where you can tell me your comments and share your opinion at the end of the show. Today I'm talking about New Jersey singer-songwriter Eric Harrison. Being from New Jersey, I'm always excited when I get to feature a hometown musician. So here's a little background on Eric. He hails from Fanwood, New Jersey, which is really funny because that's just like a town or two away from where I grew up in Union County. And he is no stranger to music and has been on the scene since the late 80s. It all started one late December night, 1988, at the Phoenix, a pub in London. There he was making his musical debut to his King's College classmates. They were excited to hear a real Yankee folk singer serenade them with covers of James Taylor and Neil Young. Little did they know he would be entertaining them with his own music. 15 songs in, he was not getting the reception he expected. Regardless of this defeat, though, a songwriter was born that night. In 1990, Harrison returned to the States and formed the first iteration of his band, Crash Chorus. Their first release, Anyone Can Fill Your Shoes, was met with great local acclaim. According to Harrison's website, their moms really liked it. Harrison continued releasing music, solo projects, to positive reviews. He was praised for his lyrics, vocal, and songwriting abilities, drawing comparisons to Elvis Costello and Bob Dylan. Then in 1999, Crash Chorus released their debut CD. It was followed up by 2005's A Little Bit of Sickness. From that release, he took a 10-year hiatus from music and then released Mercy Road in 2017, which was recorded over 2 years with musical collaborators Domenico, Eric Kvortek, Mike Dortorsky, Seth Teager, and Kevin Salem. Salem was a new producer Harrison began recording with due to the untimely death of bandmate and producer Eric Kvortek in late 2017, and please forgive me if I have butchered any of those names. The new collaboration with Salem resulted in the production of the album Gratitude in November 2020. And music was also something that Eric turned to during the COVID pandemic of 2020. He was providing music to audiences via Facebook and Instagram, and continued these into 2021 with his Sunday night series called Live from the Porch. February of that year, he also wrote a song in response to the DUI arrest of New Jersey musician Bruce Springsteen. It was called A Jersey-Sized Disgrace. In 2021, Eric released a 5-song EP entitled Good Intentions. Then, unfortunately, he was met with another heart-wrenching loss. Country folk music singer-songwriter John Prine lost his life to complications from COVID-19. Prine was a big inspiration to Harrison, and he felt he wanted to pay homage to the late musician, so he went to work with Kevin Salem and other collaborators, and what resulted was a new 5-song EP entitled Dear John. The EP came out earlier this year on the 2nd anniversary of Prine's death, April 7, 2022. The idea for the album came to Harrison from his friend, producer, and confidant, Kevin Salem. Prine's music has been described as pure-hearted Americana with reflective storytelling lyrics about love and loss. His music evokes emotions in the listener that make them relatable and enjoyable. Harrison has also done this with his track Till You Make Me Home. It's got a very vivid storytelling aspect to it. At the beginning, there's this romance blossoming, and you don't really know what's happening. It seems like the person singing the song is really head over heels, whereas the other person is kind of not sure exactly what's happening, you know? And Harrison says he's not a direct copy of Prine, but, you know, he feels like he wants to write with a big heart. He doesn't sing like Prine, but he has this conscious effort to kind of write like him and just, you know, kind of invoke influences of him in his EP. So, and in regards to the track I'll be playing later, Till You Make Me Home, this is the first song on the EP, and it really is a great opener for the album because it really kind of just first clings to you, you know, like there's like an opening beat that's very like catchy and influential, and it just kind of like tugs at your heartstrings. And then the lyrics kind of come in and just kind of get you excited about the song, and you're like, what's going to happen with this romance? And you kind of get really invested with the characters involved. And an interesting thing was this was also the first song that Harrison had written. You know, his intention was to kind of add lyrical influences from John Prine with some musical influences from like Buddy Holly and Marshall Crenshaw. And I wasn't really too familiar with these artists. And so I looked them up a little bit. And it was interesting to find out that Marshall Crenshaw he's a guitarist and a singer-songwriter, and he has been described as having like roots in classical soul. Some critics have called his music new wave and power pop, but he really felt like that was kind of like a dodgy connotation. And, you know, his main influences seem to be from like 1950s and 60s top 40 music, according to like what I found on Wikipedia. You know, he's also been compared to like Buddy Holly, and who Buddy Holly is actually a big fan of his. Another interesting thing is that Crenshaw even played him in the 1987 film La Bamba. He played Buddy Holly. So, and then I listened to a little bit of John Prine and a little bit of Marshall Crenshaw, and you know, I can definitely hear the influences in the big heart that he describes in these songs from Prine. You know, Prine has a specific way of singing, but Harrison isn't really invoking that, but he is invoking the heart and the feel of John Prine. And, you know, at the heart of this song, it's a love song. And to me, it feels like, you know, kind of like a one-sided love song. You know, it seems like in the beginning, one person is totally all in while the other person is unsure of like what's happening. And is it really love or lust? You know, the chorus goes, you say it's lust, I say it's deeper. You're feeling strong, I need you weaker. Revving me up from 0 to full blown. I found a girl, I want to keep her. I wrote it down, read 'em and weep her. From a gentle breeze to a full cyclone, till you make me feel home. So it seems like, you know, they're going through the emotions, and that can be how like relationships are sometimes. You know, like you don't really know what's happening, and you don't really know if it really is something that's gonna like be a long-term thing, and it does just kind of paint this like story and picture and very like vivid just kind of storybook romance and things. And then, you know, it kind of shows how like the singer is feeling. And then by the end of the song, you kind of realize that the couple has been together for a while, and they are kind of going for keeps. The lyrics go, let's take it back behind the counter. We'll tell our kid of that encounter. Watch her laugh, maybe roll her eyes. And this part of the song to me sounds like it's kind of wrapping up the story, and it also kind of has a different sound to it. It's a little bit more upbeat and a little bit more hopeful, whereas in the beginning, it seemed like, even with the music, it was a little like, what's going to happen with this romance, you know? It's kind of interesting and engrossing story being told that it's so eloquent and just complemented by like the continuous guitar and drum beats. And, you know, when I first listened to the track, I was trying to place the sound that it reminded me of. And it does have that like 50s rock and roll Americana feel. And it does have that Buddy Holly sense to it. You know, and I don't know if this is just what I thought after I was looking up about, Crenshaw and John Prine, but it did kind of remind me, because I couldn't really place my finger on like what the sound reminded me of, but it does have that like kind of like, you know, knee slapping kind of continuous, but also kind of like very intricate chord progression. You know, it's catchy, and it has this you know, it has this infectious sound that just gets in your ear and sticks. And it is just this easygoing song that you can find yourself effortlessly liking. It has a catchy melody, and it is something you can put on and just get engrossed in. The song also has these vocal harmonies that are just so melodious and sweet sounding. It just kind of tops everything off and makes it like really just a fun song to listen to. Eric has also been said to appeal to fans of Cat Stevens, John Hyatt, and Tom Petty, as well as the Smithereens and Bruce Springsteen. So if any of these artists are in your playlist, you may want to check out more from Eric Harrison. But you don't have to take my word for it either. You can also see the features and praise that he's been getting out there on the interwebs. He has had interviews and write-ups in the Global Texan Chronicles, Rock at Night, Raucous Magazine, Imperfect Fifth, Happy Mag, Vents Magazine, Divine Magazine, Stitch Sound, Grubs and Grooves, Dosage Magazine, Adventures in Americana, Music News, and the Asbury Park Press. And I'll have links to those features in the show notes if you do want to check them out. But just going back to the Dear John EP, it is available now to listen on Harrison's Bandcamp page if you want to check out some other songs from that particular album. He also has music on streaming services Spotify and Amazon, and along with the rest of his catalog. There's music dating back all the way to 2000, so there's a lot you can check out if you're interested in listening to more stuff. Well, I see I've kind of reached the 10-minute mark, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. So without further ado, here is the track Till You Make Me Home by Eric Harrison.
I caught a glimpse behind the counter, so this is where I'll say I found her. The day we met, she didn't say a word. She looks up and I'm a goner. I feel the heat when I don't wanna. Losing my grip on thoughts you never heard. You say it's lust, I say it's deeper. You're feeling strong, I need you weaker. Gonna wait right here, I don't wanna roll till you make me home. Bicycle spoke, caught my shoelace. I took a dive right into her place. She took me in, put some JP on. We lock eyes through a bandage. I feel a spark, I gotta manage to turn this sprint into a marathon. You say it's lust, I say it's deeper. You're feeling strong, I need you weaker. Revving me up from zero to full blow. I found a girl, I wanna keep her. I wrote it down, read 'em and weep her. From a gentle breeze to a full cyclone, till you make me whole. You make me whole. Let's take it back behind that counter. We'll tell our kid of that encounter. Watch her laugh, maybe roll her eyes. Through all the doubt and all the damage, how we emerge with an advantage. We got a love that ain't a compromise. You say it's lust, I say it's deeper. You're feeling strong, I need you weaker. You gave it good till my mind was blown. I found a girl, I wanna keep her. I wrote it down, read 'em and weep her. Gonna
think about Eric Harrison and his track, Till You Make Me Home. You can tell us in a comment on the podcast webpage. You can also leave an audio comment at the link in the episode summary. For more information on Eric Harrison, you can check out his official website, ericharisonmusic.com. That is www.ericharisonmusic.com. You can also follow him on Facebook and Instagram at the handle Eric Harrison Music. That is ERICHARRISONMUSIC. He is also on Twitter at the handle Eric Harrison's. That is ERICHARRISONMSC. If you're looking for more new music, be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you'll get the latest updates on our artist features. You can also find more music features on our website at www.eatsleepbreathemusic.com. That is EATSLEEPBREATHEMUSIC.com. Thanks for listening and see you in the next episode. Thanks so much for listening to the Eat, Sleep, Breathe Music podcast. To find new music and learn more about what we do, you can check out our website at www.eatsleepbreathemusic.com.